If someone told you your husband was cheating on you, would you believe them immediately or would you ask your husband first? Listen to this story, because one wrong decision nearly destroyed a happy marriage.
Welcome to Stories with Debbie. Come along and see, laugh, learn, and grow. You never know. Welcome to Stories with Debbie.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 7 of Stories with Debbie, where every story has a lesson. Today's story is about a wife who believed every rumor about her husband without asking him first. Let's dive in. Paul and Esther had been happily married for 6 years. They loved each other deeply and had been doing their best to build a peaceful home together. One afternoon, while Esther was returning home, one of her neighbors stopped her on the road. The woman quietly told her that she had seen Paul on several occasions with another woman after work. The neighbor said she was only telling Esther because she cared about her like a sister and couldn't keep quiet. She even claimed that people in the neighborhood had already noticed it and were talking about it. On hearing this, Esther was deeply hurt and confused. She couldn't believe that Paul would ever cheat on her because he had always shown her so much love and care. In fact, he had promised her from the beginning of their marriage that he would never be unfaithful. Remembering all of these made Esther cry bitterly. But instead of speaking to Paul, Esther allowed fear to take over. She believed the rumor and began to withdraw from the man she loved. Paul noticed the sudden change in Esther, but he couldn't understand what had happened. Every attempt to have a peaceful conversation ended in serious arguments because Esther had already made up her mind. There were several times he wanted to tell Esther about his cousin who had recently moved to Lagos after losing her husband and how he had only been helping her settle down. But each time he tried to explain, Esther wouldn't listen. She had already believed the rumors. A few days later, the truth finally came out. The woman people had been talking about was actually Paul's cousin, who had just moved to the city after losing her husband. He had only been helping her settle down. By the time Esther discovered the truth, she was overwhelmed with guilt and shame. She realized she had allowed rumors in her marriage instead of simply sitting down with her husband asking one honest question. She sincerely apologized, and Paul forgave her. Together, they promised that from then on, they would always talk to each other first before believing what anyone else had to say. The lesson from today's story is this: in your marriage, never allow rumors to become your truth without first confirming the facts with your partner. Not everything people say is true. Healthy relationships are built on communication, trust, and honesty. Before you conclude, verify. One conversation can prevent a lot of unnecessary pain. If this story resonates with you, don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow on another episode of Stories with Debbie, because every story has a lesson. Bye for now.